Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is David Marks. I'm the Vice Dean for Undergraduate Education and Student Affairs of the third Faculty of Medicine in Prague. As it was already stated, in 1348, King Charles has founded a university with one medical school. This medical school was there till 1953, when the communists have decided that they will split it into three schools as they were preparing for the Third World War. And in 1990, this split that introduced some undergraduate specialization, pediatrics, general medicine, and public health, has been cancelled, but the faculties didn't come back to form one again, but they started to be split. And we have decided that we will make lemonade out of lemons, and we will a little bit first, that was the first idea, modify not the content of our teaching, because we have to guarantee to the European Commission that our graduates, as the graduates in Pilsen, first, second, Faculty of Medicine, are competent to start working in any EU member state the following day after graduation. So the sum of the topics has to be the same, but the way we are teaching is different. And I'm going to focus on how different it is. This is Prague. This is our city where our three medical schools are situated. This is Prague Old New Synagogue, which has been, does anyone know when it was founded? It's the oldest, is the oldest functioning synagogue in Europe, in Central Europe, and it was founded in 1219. And since 1219, except for the period of German occupation, it is active. It is still performing services. This is Charles University. That's the historical part, and this is our faculty. It's the main building is newer. I'm not going to show you a lot of buildings, but I have to show you this one. So we are teaching a standardized EU medical doctor diploma, and we have about 100 students in the English curriculum. We started teaching in English in 1992. So we were thinking how to be different, how to differ in teaching. This is one of the first pictures, historical pictures of a physician. Have a guess. Is the physician the person on the left or on the right? Right. On the right. Well done, well done. Are you going to apply for our medical school? I will give you 5 points for the entrance exam. Yeah, so this was very simple. Medicine in the medieval times was simple. It was very safe because they couldn't do anything. He doesn't have anything to work with. This is the most, actually it's funny, the most recent revolution in medical teaching. In 1781, surgery started to be taught at medical schools as a discipline, because till then it was just apprenticeship. And since then, until quite recently, the first day a medical student comes to school, they get a bone. And they start studying the bone, and then another bone, and then a muscle, and then another muscle. However, modern medicine is changing. It's not only one physician with a glass of urine and one skeleton, one death. As nurses, we have physical therapists, we have many, many specializations in medicine. And guess what? If someone decides now to become an internist or a surgeon, are there any parents, physicians here? No? Any surgeons here? No? Yeah? So what's your specialization, Mom?
I'm a hematologist.
Yeah. So even in hematology, with all due respect, is not a big specialty. I guess if you would like to read everything that is written in your subject, you couldn't do anything else, and you couldn't sleep, and you couldn't eat, because the information avalanche is great. And we are still giving students a bone the first day. So how to put in all the information without extension of studies? We can't extend it so much more. 6 years is quite a lot. So first American universities, then the European, Western European universities started to change the way of teaching. We started to integrate subjects into one another. So we will not be starting with a bone, we are starting with a cell, and we are teaching the cell, all aspects of the cell, functioning, chemistry, immunology, structure of the cell in different processes. And we are teaching it all together to make it more effective, to make it more user-friendly, because for instance, when students were potential, oh, you were here today, weren't you? Yeah. So for instance, when our students are taught about metabolism of glucose, you know what glucose is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a molecule.
Yeah. Is it a lipid or a protein?
It's a sugar.
Yeah, well done. Another 5 points to you. So, but when our students in the first year are taught about metabolism of glucose, first we show them a diabetic. And this diabetic tells them what problem she had, what were her symptoms. And then we go straight directly to the metabolism of glucose so that they know why are we studying it from such basic principles. Similarly, in anatomy, when they are taught, for instance, about the heart, the anatomists show them the heart. At the same week, the physiologists tell them how the heart works. At the same week, the biochemists tell them how blood is oxygenated. And at the same week, they may see a patient with myocardial infarction. So actually, by concentrating and integrating this information, we make it more fun, but also it's very pragmatic. We save time, especially for the clinical years. So apart from problem-based learning, so we are not teaching subjects such as cardiology, pneumology, cardiac surgery. No, we are teaching a module called heart, chest, and lungs, and it's everything together. A bit of anatomy, a bit of pathophysiology, and even medication, drugs. We put a lot of focus on understanding that medicine, that is science, that's true. We have to learn all these facts, but medicine at the same time is art. We have to talk to patients, we have to communicate with them, and we have to teach our students how to improve their empathy, how to understand students of patients of different social economic groups. And to do that, we have to strengthen the social role of the to-be doctors. So we support all the student activities, charitable, educational, and even social. We'll speak about it more later on. We support internationalization, so students spend a lot of time in placements abroad, supported by different programs or by themselves. Some students spend a lot of the time in the last 2 years in their own country to work in their own system. This is the prize. It's not so important. Apart from integration, we put a lot of focus on early contact with patients. My colleague here, Dr. Svobodova, is the head of the subject that is called Introduction to Clinical Medicine. And our first year students, they don't meet their patients in the third year. They don't meet them in the second year. They meet them in the November of their first year when they buy their white cloaks. They have a lot of selfies in their white cloaks as well. They do that. And then they go to hospitals because they are taught how to talk to patients, how to communicate with them, how to understand what does it mean, not like having a cough or a common cold, but what does it mean if you have a baby and this baby is severely handicapped, and that completely changes your life. What does it mean if you are 21 years old and you are severely injured and then you have to sit on a wheelchair? So in the first year, naturally, they are not able to make diagnoses, but they are able to slowly flow into the fascinating world of medicine. We put a lot of stress on ethical context, so we teach medical ethics the whole 6 years. according to what we teach in the clinical subject. So for instance, if we teach anatomy, well, anatomy is not a clinical subject, but if we teach anatomy, they are taught ethical principles of behaving to a human body. If we teach OBGYN, they are taught about ethical principles of abortion and so on. And also we teach public health and medical health. I'm a pediatrician, but my second specialty is public health. And we understand that without knowing medical law, knowing the processes, regulations, international and national, it's like learning how to drive a car, and you'd know everything about the car, but you wouldn't know anything about traffic regulations, so you would be lost anyway. This is just the basic structure of our curriculum. The first year is all about the cell. In the second year, finally, students get their bone. But they are taught anatomy and physiology together with biochemistry, together with histology again. This is the clinical subject that is taught. It's like a pillar, first, second, and third year. And after the third year, it converts into real clinical subjects such as ophthalmology, pediatrics, and so on. I had questions here. Do we have to master Czech? No, we don't. Czech is a pretty complicated language. Myself, I've been coming to Israel since 2007, 5-6 times every year. Every time I make a promise to start studying Hebrew. I have this lot of textbooks at home, but unfortunately I'm a bit slow. We are not forcing on anyone to be fluent in Czech, although sometimes there are students who find their to-be partners in their study year and they are much better than the others. But Czech is taught just for basic understanding. And in the summer of 4 of the years, there is an obligatory clinical placement. So these are our students. Then we follow, because after the second year, you know how the body looks like, how the tissues and the cells look like, and how they function if everything's okay. But that's not what we need doctors for. We need doctors to understand how it looks like if it doesn't work, if there's something wrong with it. So we are teaching pathology together with pathophysiology. And you see, they are twinning. We teach microbiology together with infectious diseases, so that not only our students understand everything about the bugs, viruses, bacteria, and so on, but they see patients with diseases that have been caused by these particles. You can read this for yourself. We have a very colorful international community. Most of our students nowadays are Israeli students. We have around 100 students across the 6 years. The numbers increase by years. In the first year now, it's about 25% of our students are Israelis. But we have students from all over the world, starting in New Zealand, Brazil, the United States, and so on. In the 5th and 6th years, we are coming back to the traditional teaching of medicine with the clinical subjects, which names you can see on the board. And those are usually the years that international students spend a lot of time in their own home. And then they graduate. This is graduation ceremony, a solemn oath, and it's like a blink. 6 years are not so long as it looks from the beginning. This is just some addition to medical ethics. So we teach general ethics, but also special medical ethics. And we are proud that we are taking our students, most of them at least once during their studies, have to go as a part of their course in medical ethics to Auschwitz, where they have a focused teaching medical crimes and nursing crimes of the Holocaust. Because we don't like the statement that medicine, that is an elite profession, physicians are the best people in the world, and so on. Because we want to show them that those physicians working in Auschwitz, those weren't losers from some in the middle of nowhere universities. Those were graduates of high-level academic centers in Europe, Munich, Nuremberg, and so on, and still they behaved in this horrible way. So no diploma makes you a good person. We have a wide range of additional courses, starting with physical education, going over subjects that are taught in any faculty of Charles University. So some of our students attend courses in the Faculty of Law, medical law or international law. Some go to some faculty of humanities to look at more into ethics and communication and so on. And some choose subjects that give them more in detail information about the subject they want to specialize in. So for instance, you want to do ENT, so you choose some courses in ENT surgery so that you get more knowledge than the average student of this year. I spoke about placements. We are pretty proud. It's not easy to study medicine. It's not easy to study medicine even if it's in your own country, you speak the language, you know the city, and you have your friends there. So first of all, the structure of our curriculum increases the stress step by step. So the first year is softer, and then we add and add and add so that students are already adapted to the study pressure. Also, we don't want to select students during the first year, so if someone doesn't make it, they can repeat and try again. So they can use, and usually it's the first 1 or 2 years where students struggle, then they get used to it and they are pretty successful. But we have more than this organizational support. We have a tutoring system. Each study group, it's about 12, 15 people, have their senior tutor, that's one of the experienced teachers, myself or some other old, fat, and white-haired people, and one student tutor, and that's a student from the year above, because he or she have gone through it. They have been there, so they can tell them, oh yeah, Marx told you to attend all the lectures, but in my opinion, you shouldn't go there, and you should go there, and buy these books, and so on. As the only medical school in the country, to my knowledge, we have a non-stop SOS phone line. There is a phone number that any student can ring at 3 a.m. And either myself or one of my team will pick the phone and help students in stress. It's used 2/3 of the calls are for English-speaking students. Most of this is about healthcare, social support, visa issues. But sometimes students celebrate. Do you want to become a medical student? Yeah? Do you drink alcohol? Yeah, some of our students do too. And then they celebrate, and the phone call is from the police because they can't understand and they need some interpretation or a guarantee that this person can be released and go home. We have a designated healthcare unit, a GP only for English-speaking students, and we have a center of mental health where there are 2 psychologists and 2 psychiatrists that work only for our students. This is my group, actually. This is my tutoring group, and this is the statue of Charles IV. He's here, but here's the symbol of the medical school. Our students are very active, and we do not discriminate between English and Czech-speaking students. No, all of them are ours. So we have one student organization, which is called TriMed, like 3 medical. And as soon as in September, on the year when you start, you get to know your peers, the students that are in the same study group, in an introductory course. There's a camp in the country, which is attended not only by English-speaking, but also by Czech-speaking students, so the integration starts there. Then we have the Freshers Week, welcome parties. English-speaking students are responsible for organizing Student Sports Day, which is famous for Quidditch match. Do you play Quidditch? Yeah. No? You? No? So that's a task. So it's not only biology, chemistry, and physics. It's also Quidditch, yeah? Ball, they have a theater, many other. They have hockey club, football club, floorball club. We have 3 choirs. We have many bands there. But also our students work with children who have been victims of child abuse and neglect. They make peers for them. They teach first aid in schools, Czech students in Czech schools, English-speaking students in international schools. We have a group, Medics on the Street, that provide healthcare to homeless people of Prague. Again, both language curricula. Our students go to Africa twice a year to help provide healthcare there. So this is the first step in integration. This is the introductory camp. This is a welcome party. This is a student ball. And here you see, this is the Quidditch match. So they fly the brooms. They know it. This was from Africa. This is University for Children. We bring in children from grade schools and we show them what medicine is all about. This is biochemistry. This is again from the introductory camp. So why to choose our faculty? Because it's not like the content is different. The content has to be same, but we teach differently. So integrated students. We teach physiologically, so we add stress during the 6 years period. There's a lot of international elective stays, a lot of clinical practice. I didn't speak about research. About 40% of our students participate in some research projects. Maybe not for a long time, maybe just only once, maybe just to smell what does it mean, research activities. But some of them are even publishing or co-publishing articles. And for those of them who want to continue their academic career or just go for clinical practice in the States, that's a very strong argument that they can prove their scientific activity. I spoke about student support. So if you will join us, you'll never be alone, which is pretty elementary. And with this, I'd like to finish my presentation. I hope it's clear. If not, we have a stall over there. We have printed material there. We have a website. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. You can contact us. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.